You're with CapeTalk.
This is Peppa Hudson on lunch.
Time to switch our focus to food, and we will, as we usually do, start with an update from the world of restaurants. Today we turn to Tessa Purdon, who is head of content for eatout.co.za.
Today we're excited to talk about a must-visit restaurant that has just moved to the top of our list. 22 on Church is a delightful bistro located in the small town of Montagu. Our reviewer says that the restaurant has got it right, from the ambiance to the food and every aspect of the dining experience. 22 on Church has nailed it. As soon as you enter the establishment, you're greeted with warm light, delicious smells, and the sounds of a bustling and busy restaurant. But it's not just about the ambiance. The food is just as amazing. Chef owner Sanel Esterhazen has created a menu that is a fusion of traditional and modern South African cuisine, with a focus on hyper-locally sourced ingredients. From venison brazola to miso glazed pumpkin, there's something for everyone. The sirloin and chips with a pepper sauce is cooked to perfection and is as juicy and tender as you'd want from this flavorful cut of meat, while the crispy thick-cut chips are some of the best out there. On the drinks front, 22 on Church offers a carefully curated selection of local and regional wines, and the staff is knowledgeable about the different varietals and are happy to offer their excellent recommendations. The service is warm, relaxed, friendly, and very efficient. You get a sense, our reviewer says, that the staff are all one big family, filling in and helping each other to ensure the best possible service to their guests. If you're looking for a romantic dinner or even a casual lunch with friends, 22 on Church is a must visit. The fact that booking is essential is testament to that. So, if you're lucky enough to be in Montagu, make sure you stop by and experience it for yourself.
Thank you so much. That was Tessa Purdon, the head of content for Eat Out website. And remember, if you'd like to read up more about that review and for other restaurant news, you can visit their website, www.eatout.co.za.
Email pippah@capetalk.co.za.
Now, once a month in our food segment, we like to introduce you to a new food truck. And if you can hear the sound of lips smacking and fingers being licked in the background, it's because a whole lot of the most divine-looking Mexican food has just walked into my studio. We're actually profiling a truck that has its base in Somerset West today. So for our listeners in that part of the world, if you've already discovered the delights of Chilangos Mexican Kitchen, pop us a voice note or a text to 072 567 1567 and tell us what you've enjoyed eating. They're actually not one truck, but I believe two already. And it's a great pleasure to have the team behind Chilangos with us in studio. Tanya Collins and her husband, Ollie, who I'm told is the chef. Welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Peppa.
And I'm looking forward to my lunch. Before I do any tasting, though, Tanya, what's behind the name? Who or what is a Chilango?
Okay, so a Chilango is like people that live and is born in Cape Town is called a Capetonian.
Yeah.
So people that are born and live in Mexico City is called a Chilango. Okay. So yeah, that is where we got the name from.
And did you discover that while visiting Mexico City, or what's the background?
It's on our bucket list to go to Mexico, but we fell in love with Mexican food actually in England before coming to Cape Town. Funny enough,
expecting that. Okay, tell us more.
Because Ollie is originally from the UK, and I was over there and met him, and then we got married. But then we came to the beautiful Cape Town for holiday and fell in love with the city and decided we need to pack up and move to the beautiful city. So, and we've been here for about 7-8 years now, and then we decided we need to bring our Mexican flavors that we learned there over this side, and then we started the food truck. Edna was our first baby. She's called Edna, and and then we operate from Somerset West, but now we've got a sister called Lulu as well.
And I've just had my first bite, which is my mouth is full. Tell me what I've just tasted here. It's out of this world. It's sticky deliciousness.
So that is a tequila wings. Chef, do you want to tell us a bit more about the tequila wings?
Our secret tequila sauce that we put on our wings. We also do a Jack Daniel's flavour as well. I make all the sauces myself. So this has got real tequila in it. Obviously, it cooks off, but it gives it a very unique flavour. Yeah,
this one actually was born in lockdown because we were sitting there and we were like, we love tequila. We really do love tequila. We love chicken wings. And then we were like, why don't we put them together? And then, the tequila wings got born.
It did.
Yeah.
Divine. I'm glad you said the tequila burns off, because otherwise I'd be breaking my rule about not drinking during the week, which I promised myself not to do this week. Excuse me. So the tequila basing, there's a stickiness to this. There's a lovely tangy sweetness. What sort of tequila are you using?
It's a secret.
Yeah, it is. All I can tell you, it is a silver tequila.
Yeah, it's a silver tequila, but yeah, we got a Pacific brand that we use.
Okay,
yeah.
so you do use a proper one.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll say no more than that. I don't want to give away the trade secrets. In terms of sourcing ingredients, I'm going to move on to some other dishes in just a second. But I mean, I know I used to live in Texas, so I remember the one thing about the Mexican and the Tex-Mex food, there was a chili is not a chili is not a chili. There are so many different varieties. Some of them have got a much smokier profile. Some of them have got obviously the intense heat. Some are very mild. And dishes required specific types of chilies. It wasn't just like walk into Woolies and buy the mixed pack of green and red ones. What do you guys do in terms of handling the chili content?
So we do because we build our heat up with our food. So it starts at a level because obviously we have families that come to us. Mm-hmm. So we do use a lot of habaneros.
Yep.
But that is our hottest level. So we use a habanero in a sauce. But we do use a lot of chipotle. Which
lovely.
is smoked jalapenos. So we use that, and we use a nice salsa.
Okay.
We use that in a lot of our dishes and our sauces. And that gives it that smoky flavour.
And also a lot of paprika as well.
Okay.
So I don't know if a lot of people know, but paprika is actually cooked and down red peppers, like bell peppers.
Yeah.
So that also brings a lovely smoky profile to our food as well.
Okay, that explains some of the profile there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've just tasted the tequila wings. They are flavoursome, packed with spicing rather than heat. So that's not a chili heavy dish. If you're taking the kids along, they would love that. They will be licking the sauce with their fingers. I'm about to go in for something very crunchy that looks almost like an Italian cannoli, but I know it's not. What am I about to try?
That is a taquito, and these are a signature dish for us. So what it is basically it's a tortilla wrap filled with chicken and salsa and cheese, and then deep fried.
Yeah, and you can also have a nice Mexican mince or bean flavors as well, and we can also heat those up for the different flavors. But yeah, they're very Moorish, and they also get complemented with a nice chipotle mayo sauce as well.
Okay, you've got two little dipping bowls here. So is this the chipotle mayo on the right that I'm going in for?
Yes, that is. Yeah, so it complements it nicely. Yeah.
So, okay, and this is crunchy. It's got that crunch of like a tortilla chip almost because of the deep frying. I mean, this must be a really popular dish, I would imagine, if you're at events and things like that. It's the ideal thing to be able to carry away with you.
Yes, we find a lot of families love it. And first, they're not sure because you don't see them often at places. But like I explained, it's like a Mexican spring roll. I think people can relate to that. And then, but once they try it, it is very addictive. We say it comes with a bit of a warning sign. It's like a cartel. It reels you in, and then you're hooked.
The description of a Mexican spring roll is actually bang on because it's got that crunchy outer shell consistency like you get in a Chinese spring roll, but in the middle this beautiful subtly spiced chicken. That chipotle mayo is fantastic. What's the other dip I'm trying here?
And this is a lime yogurt.
Yum.
Yeah, it also goes well with the wings.
It's got a lovely zing to it.
Like nice fresh
I
limes.
love limes. So.
We get all our fresh ingredient from a local farmer. We support our local farmers. So all our fresh veg, and like I said, we make all our sauces ourselves. We try to support local produce, and that's very important and dear to our heart. And then we make everything from scratch. Even our salsa is from scratch. So a lot of flavors punched in there.
So really, I mean, a lot of homegrown blood, sweat and tears going into this food.
Exactly, yeah.
I haven't asked you one very important question, which is actually where the trucks are located. Do you have a permanent space or do you move around? Tanya, how does it work?
Yeah, so Edna, she's based in Somerset West on the top of Stainerus. So she's there from Tuesdays to Sundays. And then Lulu, she does more the corporate or festivals or even private events. We do a lot of birthdays that we can pull the trucks up to your house, and we've got lots of little arms that does that. And then we've also now here in the CBD, we just started a little in the food salt market. We're also in there, so if people are in CBD and they want to come and grab a quick lunch, we're on all the platforms, Mr. D, Uber Eats, and now they can get us from here as well in Cape Town.
Okay. All right, it's about to get messy because I'm going in for the big bite. What am I about to taste here, Ollie?
Right, this is another signature dish of ours. This is the California burrito. It's basically a steak burrito, and instead of having rice, it has chips.
Oh, wow.
So, and then we...
it's a Mexican Gatsby.
Wow.
Tell us a bit more about what's in here.
Okay, so it's got chipotle mayo, which you've tasted already, and then it has chips. Then we have steak, peppers and onions that are mixed in our cheese sauce that we make ourselves. And then we put chip spice and then we wrap it up and then we toast it.
That cheese sauce is a winner. Now, am I allowed to ask what sort of cheese is in there?
Also homemade, yeah.
It's homemade, but it's a cheddar.
It's a cheddar-based
Yeah.
sauce,
Cheddar
okay.
In Mexico, you will use as a queso. So a lot of the nachos are what we serve as well is made with that queso sauce. And in Mexico, they use a lot of the queso sauce. You probably tasted
delicious.
Tasted in Texas.
It's so delicious. Let me just recap for those who might have come in late to the conversation. That our guests in studio are Tanya and Ollie Collins, who are the team behind Chilangos Mexican Kitchen. Not one but two food trucks, one of them based in Somerset West. The other one moves around between events and functions. And are you doing things like weddings, Tanya? Does somebody who's a Mexican fan call you to say, I want burritos at my wedding?
Yeah, we've done a couple of weddings as well, and also day before weddings, like a little celebration. We pull the truck up and we do what we call a fiesta box. So it's got a little bit of everything, and then your guest just comes and chooses their filling, and then off they go. And yeah, those are very popular, the fiesta box.
What sort of choice of fillings is there, Ollie?
We do smoky chicken, and then we do a steak mince, and we do a really nice bean mix.
So the vegetarians will be happy with that one.
And we can cater for vegan as well.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good to know. Now, this is a burrito. Won't you, Tanya, help South Africans struggle with burritos versus enchiladas versus fajitas versus tortillas? Can you give us a bit of a rundown of some of those classic dishes and what the difference is between them?
Sure. So nachos, everybody probably knows nachos as the corn chips with all the salsas, cheese sauces and toppings. And then we've also got the tacos. I would say it's like little boats, little shells that we fill in with lovely fresh veg, and then also your choice of filling, cheese and taco salsas like chopped up peppers, onions, almost like a pico de gallo. And then the burritos is more like a starch. So you got the wrap with the rice, salsa, cheese and filling, and then we roll it up and toast it. So it's a nice little parcel. Enchiladas is where we bake. It's almost like a burrito, but it's a smaller version made with a corn tortilla and then baked in the oven smothered with lots of cheese and salsa. Fajitas we don't do, but fajitas we just normally on a skillet, and it's like a build yourself vibe. You get your tortillas and all your goodies, and then you put in what you want and roll it up and eat it. And then, the taquitos is like what we said is the spring rolls.
The crispy one,
Yeah, the crispy ones.
I don't know where to go back for my second bite. They're all so delicious. But I have to just say that one of our listeners has messaged to say you are leaving out a very important dish because Chilangos churros are to die for. Regular visitors at the Stain Street Bridge truck in Somerset West sent that message.
Ach, awesome. Yeah, the churros. They are...
Yeah. Sorry, I mispronounced it. Churros. I never know how to say that word. Okay.
Yeah, so churros is amazing. We also make it from scratch. You get 5 churro sticks, and then it's tossed in sugar and cinnamon. And then you get a lovely vegan-friendly chocolate sauce on the side, and then you can just but a lot of people make the mistake. They come and then they go, okay, I will take one, and then we see them making a U-turn and go, no, actually, can we have another one? So spare your petrol and come and just get two to start off
just
with.
Order double. Okay,
Exactly.
for those who are not familiar, I mean, it is like it's a Mexican donut dunked in chocolate sauce, basically.
Exactly,
right?
yes.
And okay, so thank you for that message. Apparently, they are worth the trip all the way to Somerset West just to taste that alone. What would you say is your best-selling dish, Tanya?
Everybody asks us that when they come to the truck, and it's such a hard question because it depends on the season. It depends on, because we put equally love in all our dishes. There's not one that I would say, this is the best seller, and we concentrate just on this. I think the best way to start is start at the top of the menu, work your way through, and then you figure out which one is your favorite. Because it's really hard. We don't have favorites. We put equal love, and that's our secret ingredient actually I shouldn't have said that on radio, but that is, we put a lot of love in our food, as it is a family run business. Even our staff, we couldn't do it without them. Like, they've like family. It might have started with Ollie and I, but with people that we've added over the last 6 years have literally helped us to build this little Mexican empire of us, and we're very grateful. How big is your team today? I think we're 7 people now. Okay. 7 people that and they're amazing. Honestly, their hard work, like, we couldn't do it without them. It's Ollie and I, and then we've got our business partner Eric, and then we've got our staff that works with us as well.
Well, I don't know who made the chicken wings, but please give them my thanks, because that was absolutely out of this world. In terms of somebody's asking, what about avocado and guacamole? You haven't mentioned that. I mean, that is something South Africans expect with every Mexican dish, but I know it's not necessarily that way in Mexico. Do you serve guacamole?
We do,
Yeah.
we do. And what's nice about Chilangos is we don't charge extra. We put it on in. It's part of your dish. You get it with your tacos. You get it with your nachos, and the burritos normally don't come with it. So you can order a nice trio dip that's got all three salsas with it. We don't particularly do a pico de gallo. That's more your raw peppers and tomato, onion vibe, but we do ours more as a fresher dish with pineapple and corn and coriander and stuff like that. So, yeah. We serve our guacamole is also made fresh for every morning. Fresh peppers, onions, and lime goes in that. Yeah.
The price of avocados is impossible to match. I mean, it just goes up and down, and some days they're really hard to find, and the quality and the freshness and the ripeness is so difficult. It must be quite a challenge, Ollie, for a chef to be able to have a consistent supply.
Yeah, it is. We're actually...
We got a local supplier.
We do have a local supplier, and the good thing at the moment, we're actually coming back into avocado season. So now we're seeing the price dropping.
Thank heavens.
Yes.
Yeah. So
But we have also worked out while it's off season, because the thing is, it's important as restaurants to work with the seasons of veg.
Yeah.
But we have worked out a really good way to work with our avos before it goes into big seasons, and how to cover it, and then take it from there. But we do have a local supplier that can supply us all year round.
Okay.
With fresh avos.
Another one of your happy customers WhatsApping us to say, I could have the veggie bean nachos every day of the week. They are that good. So a very happy tummy there on the receiving end. Thank you so much for that. In terms of costing of your dishes, I mean, I haven't got your full menu in front of me. All I can say is whatever you're charging for this, it's worth it because it's so good. What are your price points like, Tanya?
So being in the stage that we are at the moment, I know other restaurateurs can also vouch for us that it has been a bit of a challenge for us restaurants to make sure that we could still deliver fresh produce but at a reasonable price to our customers, and that for us, value for money is definitely a big part of it. So we do try to keep our costs down as much as possible while still producing and using fresh ingredients from local suppliers. But our ranges is around between 80 and 110 where we price ourselves at the moment. It does go up and down, but like I said, we do try to produce the most freshest food, so it's definitely worth it once you taste it. Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody is listening to this and their stomach is growling, if you're in Somerset West, you have to wait until tomorrow, right? Because I think it's a Tuesday to Saturday operation.
Yeah,
is that
Tuesdays
right?
to Sundays.
Tuesdays to Sundays. Okay. And if somebody wants to book you for an event, for their birthday party or something like that, what's the best way to do that?
You can reach us on our email. So it's Chilangos Mexican Kitchen @gmail.com. We're also on Instagram, so you can private message us on Instagram. It's Chilangos_SA. Or you can even give us a WhatsApp on 079 2442 118.
And I've got all of those details written down, so if you're driving and couldn't make a note of them, you're welcome to mail me after the show, and I'll gladly pass them on. What's the big plan for the future? Are you happy with 2 trucks, or do you think Edna and Lulu need another sibling to join the family? What's the thinking?
Yeah, I think we're always going for the next thing. We're always wanting to grow. We do have a 5 and a 10-year plan for our business, and it does involve more trucks, and then even one day a restaurant, because we also make lovely margaritas, but with the food truck, it's sometimes a little bit hard to get licenses and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think where people can come, have a lovely margarita and a nice environment, eating some of our food, that is the ultimate dream. But we're not there yet. We're sort of into the food trucks right now, so we'll probably add more food trucks before we go into
when you get there, let me know, because I would drive to Somerset West if you were to say I could have a margarita with that. Okay, it really is lovely. In the meantime, I want to thank you both so much for A, preparing this gorgeous food for us, but B, coming in all the way to studio to be with us today. You have been listening to Tanya and Ollie Collins of Chilangos Mexican Kitchen, and it's spelled CHILANGOS. Chilangos, Chilangos Mexican Kitchen, and you will find them in Somerset West Tuesdays to Sundays. Otherwise, reach out on one of their online platforms. On Insta, you'll find them at Chilangos_SA, and on email, it's chilangosmexicankitchen@gmail.com. I also want to say, I hope you both get to Mexico City one day to go and beat Chilangos for a day or so yourselves and eat the street food there.
True. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
All the best to you both in the meantime, though. Thank you so much, Tanya
Thank you,
and
Peppa.
Ollie Collins of
Been a pleasure.
Chilangos
Thank
Mexican
you.
Kitchen.